Monte here, and yeah, we're doing this once more on Christmas, off the cuff. But the theming of this one's going to be a little bit special considering the fact that, yep, we're at that point. We're coming up on the end of the year. The crazy part, too, is this all started happening today on Christmas, so yeah, some things do work out in that regard after all. It's definitely crazy to think just how much time's already passed in 2024, and here we are. But yeah, having all these decorations out and just seeing everyone talking about spending time with friends and family, it actually feels more real than I thought it would after all this time.
Yeah, while I can't deny that the Christmas gift portion of this time of the year is a big highlight, honestly, I think one of the things I always enjoy most about this time of the year is the ornaments for the tree itself. Or, at least as far as how I like to approach it when it comes to decorating the Christmas tree. There's a lot of time and effort and care that goes into its construction.
And the cool thing is, when it comes to ornaments, I noticed, anyone's trees, when they decorate with their ornaments, there's always a theme to how they go about it. Some go very traditional, some go with how they have other decorations set up throughout their homes, whether it be the stylistic choices with pretty much anything, stockings and the like. But when it comes to how I go about my tree and the ornaments, I envisioned a theming where it was mostly just based on things that, as far as entertainment went, growing up, those are the focuses, basically. This tree is almost like a monument to everything throughout my history that I've enjoyed as a kid, all the way up to where I'm at now. So you can almost call it almost like a little bit of a monument to that history. Pretty much the whole tree has something on it from one form or another of media that, entertained me quite a bit. Whether I spent countless hours in certain games or watched a ton of specific shows or even like little collectibles, just things that were a huge focus. And obviously not everything that I've enjoyed has ever been made into an ornament, but a lot of things have. And a lot of that, of course, is thanks to Hallmark in this case. I mean, that being said, do I really need to talk about Hallmark all that much?
I mean, come on, you see them pretty much everywhere. They're the reason why you're able to go out and shop for Christmas cards last minute when you got nothing else nice to say to the people that you love. I know that's not necessarily true, but you can't deny the convenience of Hallmark.
I guess the point stands, whether you're familiar with them from the TV channel or the cards. The point being, Hallmark is a brand, and it's a pretty well-known brand, but the ornament line, that's something they've been doing since the 70s, so for the past, 73, so the past 51 years at this point, Hallmark has been putting out many, many different types of Christmas ornaments. But that being said, back then it usually was just very thematical ornaments for the trends at the time, and they didn't really start branching out to this style, whether it be games or even, they did with shows, but games especially, that's a little bit on the newer side.
I mean, these are always my favorite ones. It's just the overall shape of the mold, the figurine. It's, not so much I guess it's more so a statue to be more fair to the overall presentation of it. It's, it's just all around, it's solid, it's convincing, no real issues. Some things might seem a little off, but I'd have to say definitely in that 8 out of 10 for the most part. Now, as much as I like the Hallmark ornaments themselves, my only real gripe that I have with them is the boxes they come in. They're just a little bit on the simplistic side. It's I like the labeling, makes it very clear what franchises that they're tied to, no confusion there, but it's just, the boxes are so flimsy once you take the ornaments out, there's no real point in storing them back in, honestly. That being said though, even though regular Hallmark ornaments are a little bit weaker on the presentation side, the Keepsake series, on the other hand, not only has decent looking figurines that are the ornaments, but they actually take it to the next level and actually make a presentation out of it that just makes it way more enticing by comparison. And even more arguably, realistically in this case too, the older designs for the Hallmark Keepsake series, those ones were in their own class. Just the boxes themselves are very unique and very stylized to show that these were bigger than just your run-of-the-mill ornaments that you can get from Hallmark. So yeah, should come to no surprise whatsoever to anyone that these two ornaments from Hallmark are undoubtedly my favorites. You got good old Master Chief and Samus going on here. So Chief came out this year
And Samus was, what, last year at this point? Yeah, Samus was 2023, Master Chief 2024. So it's nice to see that both these franchises got some Hallmark recognition, and now I have some awesome ornaments to hang that are as official gets. Fun fact, this is also a Hallmark Chief that released this year too, so a little bit more on the obscure side, not a keepsake version, but had to get my hands on it. Mario here, he's a keepsake Hallmark, and so is Peach right there. In truth, I'd have to say that my two favorites, though, are probably the Enterprise here from the Next Generation, and also Shuttlecraft Galileo from the original series. So, fun fact about these ornaments, these ones are the older ones that released in the 90s that, because they light up, you were required to basically take the end and stick them into an incandescent slot on your string of lights. And nowadays, with most lights being LED, you can still find incandescent strands, but they're not always compatible with the ends. So I had to work a little bit just so I could get these lit up, and it was definitely well worth it, because this one especially, this one's special because this is one that I had growing up in my household. I remember every Christmas as a kid always running out to the tree wanting to run up to the Galileo and push the button on it, because every time you did, oh well, might as well just show it off the second.
Shuttlecraft to Enterprise. Shuttlecraft to Enterprise. Spot here. Happy holidays. Live long and prosper.
Sorry about the double there a second, but yeah, one of the ornaments back then that actually had a speaker built into it, and funnily enough, if I remember correctly, this actually released the same year that I debuted in life as we know it. And there was even a commercial way back then starring the legendary Leonard Nimoy himself to promote it.
Fascinating.
For a store in your sector now carrying the Star Trek ornament, call 1-800-HALLMARK.
Live long and prosper, right?
No, I'll take 5.
I will take a second to say, too, that even though I put so much love and attention on the Hallmark ornaments, not everything that I have that represents my interests is strictly from Hallmark. There are other companies out there throughout the years that have put out some really amazing ornaments themselves, and I happen to have a few of them here, too, that I have on my tree right now. Oh yeah, and this one is without a doubt a special one, too, just for that reason alone. Hallmark's not the only one that's got the speaker action going on. Like I said, as long as I can remember. And of course, sometimes the ornaments themselves are strictly licensed by whatever company oversees the property, like good old SpongeBob here, for example. Nickelodeon-styled ornament from, oh, I've never heard of them before. But cool that they got to make these ornaments, too. Also, I got one thing I gotta do here. Never forget, safety first. Well, that was anticlimactic. There you go, Patrick. He seems happy about it. And even some ornaments that I have here, from the things that I enjoy, not everything's official either. Sometimes you go online, you'll find different sites, like Etsy, for example, and sometimes you'll find stuff that, obviously, it makes me wish there are ever someday a chance for these to ever be officially released in some capacity, but when the fans do it in a way that's this awesome, sometimes I'm just grateful to even have it at all. Yep. No secret, also Majora's Mask is one of my favorite games ever, so this was a must. And some things may not even been originally meant to be ornaments originally anyways, and you just find a use for them, and it just fits the theme. And then, of course, there's some that could be of questionable origins, as it were. Like, Daisy, you doing okay there? Uh-oh. It does say that it was copyrighted by Nintendo, but is it true? Answer me, China. Is it true? And, of course, we can't forget about the one that I showed off last year during a certain little video. I guess you could say the representation of all humble beginnings. This will always be very special just for the fact that this is basically how it kickstarted everything. If it wasn't for this one game, in its ornament form of course in this case, I wouldn't be who I am as far as what I'm into today. I'm sure of it. This is how it all began. And Oh yeah, don't forget. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Not just the decorating part. I know it can be exhausting for a lot of people going through the effort at the beginning of the month trying to get it all situated and figured out. And yeah, there was definitely moments I wasn't happy with how it was shaping up, but by the end of it, thanks to all these amazing ornaments and just having a goal on how to put it all together, it paid off. And yeah, it's just satisfying to see that end result and appreciate all the effort that went into it. And also just kind of taking in the fact that so much of it is based so heavily on, yeah, the different things that I've enjoyed throughout the years from the very beginning, back when I was playing Super Mario World, all the way up to now. And just taking it all in and remembering, man, it's been a really long time, and just all the different things that played their parts throughout, well, history in general, but even my personal history. It's admittedly overwhelming at times, but also surprisingly satisfying. Oh, and I should also probably mention, too, that it's like, yeah, even though the theming of it is very, oh, this is what I grew up with, this is my entertainment. As far as that goes, I'd have to say maybe that's about 80%, 90% of what the tree's theming is, but there is a little splash of just the personal history, too. Ornaments from years long past, and a legacy that's continuing to be maintained. But yeah, that's what decorating means to me, especially when it comes to the tree in this case, that special thrill that you can only get this one time of the year. And it's satisfying, to say the least. And well, with that, as we wind down, I'd like to wish all you watching a very Merry Christmas, the merriest of Christmases this year. It's been a crazy year, but I'm hoping that you've all had the chance to spend it well with friends and family, and that today you're taking it easy no matter what it is that you're doing. It has been a wild one, but I'm grateful to all of you who actually got the chance to hang out here tonight. And yeah, and also enjoying that wonderful time of the year energy. And I guess with that, Off the Cuff is done for the year. Well, not quite. There was actually one video I planned on having released prior to this, but with just how crazy everything's been leading up to Christmas and everything else that's been going on, didn't quite get around to it in time, so there's technically one more Off the Cuff for this year. But I wanted to take this moment at the end of the video to at least say thanks for sticking around. Well, pretty much, yeah, this whole time I've been doing this over the last year now. And what I have planned into this next year, either you're here because of videos like these, or when I'm just hanging out and playing games, or if you're here for the remix Rex-related stuff that's happening at this point. I appreciate every single one of you that stuck it out for this long, and trust me when I say there's a lot of cool stuff to look forward to very soon. This isn't my usual style to end these videos, but I just wanted to take this moment, with it being the end of the year, to thank every single one of you for that support that wouldn't have been possible without any of you. So remember how awesome you all are, and with it being this time of the year, remember, go easy on the eggnog, tough as it may be for some of you. Definitely for me. So, until the next one, and until then, farewell.